Maybe you're tired of relying on spontaneous lucid dreams. Maybe you're tired of relying just on reality checks in general. Or maybe you can access sleep paralysis, but you don't know how to turn it into a lucid dream at will. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to lucid dream from sleep paralysis. If you're watching this video, you probably already know how to induce sleep paralysis, but if you're new to sleep paralysis, then this is something we experience 4 to 5 times a night. It's something that's a part of our REM stage, and our REM stage of sleep is where we dream. So in order to lucid dream at will, it's a great idea to try targeting for when you're in REM sleep naturally. Since we go into sleep paralysis naturally 4 to 5 times a night, we're really just trying to time waking up during one of those REM periods. And if you ever wake up directly from a dream, pretty good sign that you're in REM, so that would be a great time to do this technique. When you're in sleep paralysis, your body is asleep, but your mind is awake. And this is something that we can induce just by carrying our awareness into relaxation and sleep. A great way to practice this is just seeing how long you can stay awake before you fall asleep. And eventually you'll get better and better at it, and you'll be able to eventually notice the point at which the body falls asleep, but the mind stays awake. There's a few different sensations that you'll experience with this: tingling, a sense of vibrations, maybe some auditory sounds, high-pitched noises. A lot of those are considered pretty common symptoms of sleep paralysis. It's important to note that you probably will know when you're in sleep paralysis, so if you're in doubt, you're probably not there yet. But just by targeting our REM stage and carrying our awareness into sleep, eventually we'll be able to put the body to sleep and keep the mind awake. Just by targeting our REM period and carrying awareness into deep relaxation, eventually we will notice the body fall asleep while our mind is conscious. At this point, once you know you're in sleep paralysis, you just want to relax as much as possible, try to release the tension or the pressure of trying to create a lucid dream, because a lot of the time that could actually completely get in the way of your technique, and you could just completely wake yourself up by overthinking, putting too much pressure on it, like getting nervous or trying to force it to happen. All of those things can completely wake you up. So when you notice you're in sleep paralysis, it's a really good idea to just completely relax and almost pretend like you were asleep. How would you pretend you were asleep if you were trying to do that? Well, you'd probably let yourself breathe naturally. You probably wouldn't be taking these huge, deep breaths because we don't need to take in as much oxygen when we're sleeping, so your breathing is very naturally shallow. You probably wouldn't be moving around a lot. Your eyes probably wouldn't be like looking all around under your closed eyes, right? So you just almost want to mimic your sleeping self. And once you start to do this, it's a really good idea to shift your focus to the dream scene that you want to create. If we're talking about out-of-body experiences, I will tell you guys to not really focus too much on imagining a dream scene, but more so imagining the feeling of like movement. But for lucid dreams, you really want to see how far you can take your imagination. You want to see how much detail you can create in your imagination, and if you can use all of your senses. This is super, super important. And again, it may take some time to practice this, but the key to inducing a lucid dream from sleep paralysis is, number one, being in the right state, so targeting your REM sleep, making sure that you are relaxed enough where you don't completely wake yourself up, but you also don't fall asleep. This would be for the wild technique. And using strong visualization and including your senses in this visualization as much as you can. So for me, I love to imagine being in a wildflower meadow, beachside somewhere. This is my dream scene that I love to create. And the sensations in this scene for me would be the warmth from the sun, the sound of the ocean, the feeling of walking through grass or sand with my bare feet, the smell of flowers, the sound of birds. And basically, once you are in sleep paralysis, or even when you're really close and your body's starting to fall asleep, and you keep your mind awake, you're going to notice that you actually start to sense this dream scene. You start to sense this visualization, and the more you attach detail to it and using your different senses, it's going to feel even more real to your brain. Because again, your brain cannot tell the difference between something you're imagining, something you're dreaming about, or something that's actually happening. So if you can guide the body into deep relaxation or sleep while staying engaged with a really vivid imagination or a really vivid dream scene that you're imagining, you will notice that you actually start to sense that you are there. And that's what you want to get to. You want to do this until you almost start to trip yourself out. You almost start to actually hear the water. You almost start to actually smell the flowers. And you basically just want to keep engaging with this dream scene until you start to see imagery. So this is called hypnagogic imagery. And this is the colors and flashes of light and maybe dream scenes that you see as you're falling asleep. Dream content can be created out of this. So as soon as you start to see that, that is a good sign that your body is falling asleep. And eventually those colors and kind of flashes of light that you see will start to form the dream scene. Now, this is for the wild technique. This is more of an advanced technique because we're going from a waking state and guiding ourselves into a lucid dream without, just relying on spontaneous reality checks to show up in our dreams or setting an intention before bed. This is a direct method to induce a lucid dream from the waking state. So it may take a couple of tries, but if you are familiar with liminal dreaming, that is something I highly recommend trying and playing with. Liminal dreaming it's basically a state that allows us to dream while we're awake. It's dreaming on the edges of sleep. So right before you actually fall asleep, right before you actually lose consciousness at night, that's the state that's considered the liminal state. It's the in-between awake and asleep. And hypnagogic imagery is a symptom of this state. So if you are ever falling asleep and you start to see really intense kind of colors and dream scenes or whatever it may be, as you're kind of getting those confusing, tired thoughts and falling asleep, if you can learn to anchor awareness in that state, then you will be able to experience dreaming while you're actually awake. You can think during this state, you can listen to music or podcasts because you're trying to anchor that awareness and not fall asleep. So liminal dreaming is a super easy way to practice the wild technique and just kind of get used to carrying awareness deeper into sleep. But that is the skill that is going to allow you not to only induce lucid dreams consciously, but be able to play around with liminal dreaming and also induce out-of-body experiences from sleep paralysis. So liminal dreaming will be your best friend, and you may hear me talk about the liminal state or the hypnagogic state a lot, and that is what I am referring to. So again, once you are in sleep paralysis, you want to completely relax the body. You want to remove any pressure or tension. You just want to focus on relaxing and just carrying that awareness into deeper and deeper relaxation until you experience some of the sensations of sleep paralysis. And then you want to continue relaxing, but shift your focus to a really vivid dream scene that you can use all of your senses in until it starts to feel real. And eventually, with practice, or maybe the first lucid dream that I accidentally induced was a wild. So just know it's considered more of a more difficult technique only because you're carrying that awareness into sleep. But it is possible to experience a wild on the first try. So if you practice this and you play around with this, then you will definitely get it. And I can't wait to hear about what you guys experience. Leave your experience down below. Let me know what your technique is for inducing lucid dreams, or if you have any questions about this, and I would love to answer them for you. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like the content I create on this channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And make sure to check out my second channel, the Lucid Mystic Sleep Music, for your nightly binaural beats sleep music. Thanks, guys, so much for joining this video, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.